Welcome student, my name is Ramen Singh Chauhan. We are going to study today's topic components of laser. So, what are the major components? We will talk about those components. The major components are active medium, pumping source and optical resonator cavity. From here in the block diagram, you can see that this portion is active medium. This is a cavity where active medium is filled or placed. Then this is a pumping source and this is combination of mirrors, two parallel mirrors, one is fully reflecting and one is partially reflecting. This is forming optical resonator cavity. So, now we will take one by one all the three components, and the first component is active medium. What is active medium? Active medium is a medium whose particle can be used to achieve population inversion, and for active medium it is not suitable for all the atoms to help in or to achieve laser operation, but only a limited species are suitable for laser operation. This is based on the fact that all the atoms or all the mediums are not having a suitable metastable state. Only a few or some limited species of mediums are having a suitable metastable state, which metastable state can be used for achieving population inversion and ultimately laser operation. Here the population inversion is achieved and stimulated emission take place. Then after stimulated emission, photons are emitted and light amplification takes place. And in active medium there are some centers which are helping in population inversion, which are helping in achieving population inversion, and there are some particles or some medium other than active centers which are supporting or helping the active centers to achieve population inversion. So, these active centers plus the host, they combinedly called active medium. Now, what is active medium? An active medium is thus a medium which, when excited, reaches the state of population inversion and ultimately causes light amplification. Active medium may be in the form of a solid, a liquid or a gas. So, we can say active medium is a medium which, when supplied energy, the particles of the active medium, that is the particles of the active centers, gets excited, reaches to higher energy state, excited energy state, and then shifted to metastable state, and population inversion takes place between metastable state and energy state lower than the metastable state. And when population inversion is achieved, stimulated emission takes place, and after stimulated emission, photons are emitted and ultimately or consequently we can say the amplification of light takes place. Now, we can say that active medium determines the wavelength of the operation of the laser. It depends on the energy difference between the energy levels of the energy levels which are forming or which are taking part in population inversion. That is, meta-stable state and the energy level lower to the meta-stable state which are forming or which are involved in population inversion, the difference of their energy determine the wavelength of laser operation. Now, any active medium is excited by pump source to achieve population inversion. Here in active medium, spontaneous and stimulated emission of photons take place. In the beginning, spontaneous emission takes place, and later on stimulated emission of photons take place. How it happens, that we will take on in third component, that is optical resonator cavity. And the examples of active medium may be solid, liquid, gas and semiconductor. Solid active medium, we can say ruby laser. If we are talking of ruby laser, that is using ruby crystal which is solid. Liquid medium, if we are talking, then we are using dye lasers where dye is a liquid medium, and in gas lasers, or if we are using gas as active medium, then we have example of helium neon laser, and for semiconductor laser we have a semiconductor as active medium. Now, the second component is pumping mechanism or pumping method. So, before that we will know what is pumping. So, what is pumping? Pumping is a process to excite the particles of the medium to shift to their meta-stable state and help in achieving and maintaining population inversion. So, in pumping what we do? We supply energy to the particles of the laser medium or active medium, and the particles move to their excited state, shift to their excited state, then they shift to meta-stable state from their excited state, and a state of population inversion is achieved between meta-stable state and an energy level lower to that meta-stable energy state. Now, for creating population inversion, selectively excite the particles of the medium, and they move to their excited state and ultimately to the meta-stable state. And for exciting, the most common method of pumping used light or electrons. When we are talking light, then what is we are doing with light? We are supplying light, sort of flash lamp, where we are throwing light on the medium, and medium is absorbing energy because of that light source, and the particles of the medium are shifting to the meta-stable state. And when we are using a gas medium, their light is of no use, then particles of the medium are collided with electrons, and those electrons are supplying energy to the particle of the medium, and those particles are shifting to the meta-stable state. And pumping methods, depending on these usage, whether we are using light or electrons, they are named based on the method from where we are supplying energy. So, in pumping methods, first one we will talk about optical pumping. What is optical pumping? As the name suggests, we can see optical and then pumping. So, optical means which is related to optic, that is related to light. So, a pumping in which light is used for exciting the particles of the medium, that is called optical pumping. Here what is happening, we are throwing light on medium, and generally this medium is solid medium. In this we are using a flash lamp, and that flash lamp is discharging light on the solid medium, and this solid medium or the particles of the medium absorb energy from the light, in which photons present in the light, they collide with the particles of the medium and they are absorbed by the particle of the medium, and those particles of the medium shift to their excited state, and from there they move to the metastable state and population inversion is achieved. Next we will talk about electrical pumping. What is electrical pumping? That is related to electrons. When we are using gas medium, then we know that interatomic distance in gases is very large than that in solids or liquids. So when we are using gas medium, it is not possible for light to excite them, and hence there is a limitation of light for supplying energy to gas medium. Then in this case we use electricity. What we are doing, that in a gas laser we are supplying high voltage pulse. That is, we are connecting the tube active medium with RF oscillator, which is supplying high energy or high voltage pulse, and that is ionizing the gas, and due to ionization of gas, electron and pairs are formed and they conduct electricity, and these electrons collide with other gas molecules, and these gas molecules or gas particles or gas atoms, they acquire energy. Because of this collision, they absorb electrons, they get energy from the electrons, and they shift to the excited energy state, and after completing their lifetime in excited energy state, they shift to equivalent, almost equivalent energy metastable states, and the metastable state and a state lower to the metastable state forms state of population inversion, and which helps in achieving laser operation, which help in creating laser or producing a laser beam. That we will talk in the next slide. Now the third method which we are discussing, that is direct conversion. What is direct conversion? In semiconductors we are directly supplying electricity to the semiconductor, and because of this electricity the electron and hole pairs are increased and population inversion is achieved in semiconductor in the junction region, and when any electron recombines with holes, the energy is released, and this recombination energy is released in the form of photon, and these photons amplify and produce laser beam. So that we will talk in working of semiconductor laser when we will discussing semiconductor laser topic. So this is direct conversion. Next we will talk of pumping schemes. We know atoms are characterized by a large number of energy levels, and based on that we can create lasers using energy levels and for that we can classify laser on the basis of energy levels as into three schemes. These are 2-level scheme, 3-level scheme and 4-level schemes, which are suitable for making laser. 2-level scheme, we will see 2-level scheme will not lead to laser action, but 3-level and 4-level schemes are important and are widely employed. So, we will see talk about the basic of these schemes. Now, 2-level scheme, 2-level laser scheme, this is unimaginable. What is in 2-level laser scheme? We can say there are only 2 energy levels which are taking part in laser action, suppose. So, out of these 2 energy level, when we want to achieve population inversion, only ground state and excited state will be involved. And when we are supplying energy to the medium, then particles in the ground state are shifting to the higher energy state, and as well as at the same time the particles in higher energy state, they are also interacting with photons in the light beam or external light source which we are providing. They are interacting with that light beam and they are shifting to the lower energy state because of stimulated emission. So, the stimulated emission and absorption or excitation of particles from lower energy state to the higher energy state or excited energy state is taking place at the same time. This is simultaneously taking place, and so it is not possible for us to create population inversion between the 2 energy levels in case of 2-level laser scheme. So, this is unimaginable, and we can say that the material has become transparent, that is they are mixed with transitions of absorption and stimulated emission or spontaneous emission also, and hence it is not possible to achieve population inversion among the 2 energy levels for a 2-level laser scheme. So, it is not possible to achieve laser operation. Now, we will talk about 3-level laser scheme. What is a 3-level laser scheme? The 3-level laser scheme is a scheme where we are using or where 3 energy levels are taking part in laser operation. Here we are having ground state, one excited energy state and a meta-stable state. Excited energy state or highly excited level, we can say that is short lived, that is lifetime of this state is small, and when we pump the particles in the ground state, they shift to highly excited energy level or excited state, and from there completing their lifetime they shift to meta-stable state, and no photon is created because this is a radiationless transition, and when particles reaches to meta-stable state, then between meta-stable state and the ground state a population inversion is achieved, because meta-stable state is having a greater lifetime. So, particles are getting accumulated there, and in such a case the population inversion is achieved between meta-stable state and the ground state, and these 2 states can take part and along with the excited state. So, total 3 energy levels are involved, and this is called 3-level laser scheme, involvement of 3 energy levels. Now, we will talk about 4-level laser scheme. when we are talking of 4 level laser scheme, we can say that there are total 4 energy levels which are involved in laser operation. Here again ground state particles are excited or pumped to the higher energy state, and this higher energy state, after completing lifetime in the higher energy state, these particles shift to the metastable state through radiationless transition, and these are accumulating in the metastable state, and the energy level below the metastable state, that we can say second and third or third and second energy states, they are taking part in population inversion, and population inversion is achieved, and then stimulated emission take place and laser operation is achieved later on. So, here we can say that 4 level laser, when we are talking of 4 level laser, there are total 4 energy levels involved, and hence it is called a 4 level laser scheme. Now we will talk of optical resonator cavity. What is an optical resonator cavity? So, we know that one of the important condition for achieving laser operation is very large radiation density. That is, the number of photons per unit volume must be very large. And how can we achieve this very large radiation density? That for achieving this very large radiation density, we use optical resonator cavity. And what is optical resonator cavity? It is combination of 2 parallel mirrors placed around the active medium. Out of these 2 parallel mirrors, one is fully reflecting and one is partially reflecting. And when light is fall on one mirror, it is reflected and moved to the second mirror. And from second mirror, it is again reflected and moved to the first mirror. And again from first to second and second to first, and this in this way oscillation of these photons or light take place. And when these photons are continuously oscillating, they are amplifying, they are moving in the medium and they are amplifying the medium. And for this, the design and alignment of the mirrors is important or crucial, and we will see how this is important and crucial. So, here this is a diagram we can say of optical resonator cavity. Here we can see this is a totally reflecting mirror where reflectance R2 is 1, that is 100% light is being reflected, and this is a partially reflecting mirror. Its reflectance is shown as R1 less than 1, that is it is not reflecting 100% light. Here length of active medium is L and this cavity length is given as capital L. So, what is happening? We can see that this is a light, this is going to this mirror, this is getting reflected and moving to the second mirror, again reflected to the first mirror and then again to the second, and in this way they are oscillating from one mirror to second, and when they are oscillating they are passing through the active medium. So, a feedback is generated, and when these photons or light, because we know there are photons present in the light, they are oscillating again and again in the medium, they are creating stimulated emission. But we also know that the first photon was created because of spontaneous emission, that was random spontaneous emission, and in random spontaneous emission, if photon created was perpendicular to the mirrors, then it will start oscillating between the mirrors, and as it is oscillating again and again, it is passing through the active medium, and more stimulated emission is taking place, and more number of coherent photons are getting emitted, and all these photons are again moving in the same medium, or we can say they are in the same optical cavity mode, or they are in the same cavity mode. So when they are passing in the active medium, number of photons is increasing by time, and after a time the number of photons is increased beyond a limit, and we know the volume of the cavity is fixed. So what we can say that number of photons is rapidly increases, but the volume remains fixed. So we can say radiation density is ultimately increased, and that is going to beyond a limit. It means that is very large. We have created a very large radiation density, and when it is beyond a limit, then excess of the photons are released as a loss from the transmitted or from the partially reflected mirror, and these laser loss, this loss of light is in the form of a laser beam, and that is coming out from the partially reflected mirror, and this laser beam is required laser light. So this is all what we were talking about component of laser. So this is all for today. We will cover next topic in next class. Thank you.